Dawson Ryder here with my review of the transforming Sentinel Knight from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. It's really funny actually, I thought I was done with Overdrive Zords and I completely forgot about this guy until someone commented on it in the Battle Fleet because I said like, I think something about it being the last and they're like, what about Sentinel Knight? I completely spaced this guy and then I remembered why. One of two reasons. One, he was shoved into the back of one of my old displays and also he was part of the transforming line, which was kind of like the B line to the main Megazord line. The other two releases included some sort of original Megazord creations. That line continued, I think, for at least 2 years, Overdrive and Jungle Fury. Overdrives were a bit weirder, though, because they were kind of Ranger Zord hybrids. I don't think I have any of those. I have one of the Jungle Fury ones, so I'll be covering that. But they were usually non-show what-if stuff, but this guy happened to come out in it, which was actually really nice. And as you can see, he actually looks pretty nice. They basically are using the same exact mold from Zubon. There are some differences, some little chrome pieces, some little details missing. Zubon has a little bit more varied sounds, and he has green light up eyes, which in my mind are more distinct than the blaring red light that this guy has. But still, we mostly got the same looking thing, same transformation, and actually some sounds for a pretty reasonable price. I'm not sure what this guy goes for now, but like I said, it was the B-list Zord line. But we'll just go ahead and take a look at him. Like I said, he looks pretty cool, and I think they captured his look, and I guess he looks a little too orangey in some senses, but I think Zubon's was the same way. I don't actually have that one. I kind of want to track it down now, though, and if I do, I'll put a review out for it when I get to Sentai older reviews. But anyway, I think he looks pretty good, though, and he looks pretty sleek as well, which is kind of nice, and I think he just really looks good on the shelf, and I've always liked Sentinel Knight / Zubon's design. And he actually offers a little bit of articulation because, actually I want to zoom out more. Prematurely touched him. That sounded weird, guys. But like you can lift these up and do this, so you can do the Zubon pose. And it's partly due to his transformation, but also it's kind of nice that you are able to do that. It's just something you're not often able to do, so you take little bits of Zord articulation where you can get it. You can't move his head or anything. You can move his legs side to side because of the transformation, but that's pretty much it. The transformation itself is actually pretty easy, and I think I have him off as far as sounds, and we're going to retransform him to get the sounds. But to transform him, you just fold these up into themselves like this. Just make sure the fist kind of clears this. Sometimes it can get a little hitched on there. Twist these around, fold the legs, or the feet down, excuse me. Snap these together, and then press that down. Twist this, and then you kind of yank this whole thing down. And this is going to sort of want to line up into this little puzzle piece here. Oh, that actually went on the first try. And there you have the sword mode. And it looks decent. The handle could definitely be a little bit longer. It's pretty stubby. Like, I wish they could have just made the neck a little bit longer, just to make it seem less weird, because it's definitely not the scale of the one in the show. But they did I thought they did a pretty good job on making the scale of this proportionate, which I think looks pretty good. So if they just made the handle a little bit longer, that could have been nice. Whoops, forgot about that. But yeah, it's a nice, unique thing. The transformation is fun. It's simple. I dig it. Like I said, I think it was unique, and it's one of those that I like, the ones that are like very fun and easy and simple to transform, that you can just sit there and transform and have fun with. And that honestly looks pretty good, especially the way the light's catching it. It looks kind of goldeny. That also makes like a good alternate display piece. And it's also kind of a neat hybrid between like a role-play toy and a Megazord. Okay, now I picked it up here and I turned the on-off switch on. That makes sense. I'll just go over the sounds real quick before we transform it. So basically just get those noises. Now for this, it's actually kind of nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready. It's kind of hard to finagle around it, but I like the immediacy of the transformation. So just yank this back up. And it was kind of hard to see, but there was some LED lights there. But you get those sounds, and there you have the transformation again. And let me just pan up, and I'll be able to press the button again, and you'll sort of see the red lights, and you get it through the eyes a little bit, and this lights up, which is neat. But I thought the green lights on Zubon were a little bit better. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I had to do like a weird cut in there for a second because it didn't seem like the electronics were working, and I had to go in and like finagle with the batteries. It's been having problems with that. I'm pretty sure it's just because it's old. But anyway, overall, I actually quite dig this thing. There's definitely some pluses to getting the Zubon version, but considering at the time this was likely cheaper, like I said, I'm not sure what the prices are now on these other, because you'd be surprised, honestly. sometimes you can get the Sentai version for cheaper now. But anyway, my point is, for the price, this was honestly a good translated release. A little bit touched down so that you could charge a cheaper price for it, but honestly, basically the same thing, and I think it looks good. And if you're a fan of Zubon or Sentinel Knight, I can recommend checking it out if you get a good price. It looks good on display, even if the sounds aren't quite as good as Zubon's would be. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Dawson Ryder, signing out.